How we doing, everybody? Can you all hear me okay? I know that yesterday I didn't realize it until after I was done, but my mic was really bad. So is it nice and clear? Okay, good. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Which is my own fault because I need to check my mic better. Before I go live, I need to check the settings. It's good to see everybody. Cherry K, Louisiana Girl, Julie Witcherman, Amy Jade, Rebecca Fuller, Abrew09, Soul Survivor, Mama Jane Star, Holly Marie, Kentucky's Princess, Faith, Rubicon 39, Kaylee P. If I missed your name, I apologize. Woman of Sparta. Yeah, I'm just going to get right into it, man, because people have been talking, and I want to be clear about something. A lot of people are talking about this, but the thing that they're focused on the most are the parents again, and I think that is pretty awful. Now, I'm not saying that these people don't deserve to be talked about negatively. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm not even implying that. I'm saying that it doesn't help Sophie in the slightest bit. It does nothing for Sophie. And it's really disheartening. It just is. Sorry, I got other things here happening real quick. Let me check on that. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of talk. People saying that I'm exploiting Sophie. Let me clear that up right now. What I'm doing is exploiting. I'm absolutely exploiting, but what I'm doing is I'm exploiting the creators that are exploiting Sophie. Make no mistake about that. Yeah, let me highlight that comment real quick. Word of warning: if y'all value your sanity, then stay away from the Facebook regarding this. Jesus, it's hard. It's hard work on there. Well, I mean, but follow your own advice. You know what I mean? Like, the only power that these social media platforms have are the people listening to it. I'm talking to you guys. You know, I'm talking to you guys, man. You guys are giving these people power, and you're not looking at the signs. What you're doing is like I did, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 lives discussing Without a Crystal Ball and her exploiting this situation, which she absolutely did. And I don't change my mind about that. Yeah, it turned out that Sophie was considered missing, but still nothing in major news media talking about it. I mean, this is a high-profile child. Everybody was talking about this when her video went viral. Everyone was talking about this. Why isn't a major news station talking about this? The little girl, I mean, I could see the headline now. The little girl whose video went viral when she was screaming SA and claiming SA from the environment that her mother provided for her. I mean, why isn't anybody talking about this? Major news stations. And the reason why that is, the reason why that is, I would assume, I don't know for a fact, is because I don't think that law enforcement considers her to be in danger necessarily. If she was, it would be all over the place. Now, is there a risk of her being in danger? Absolutely. Does Michael need to do the right thing and turn Sophie in? Absolutely. But I mean, everybody's talking about now that their court case, all the details of the custody case have been released. All the court documents have been released. I mean, I'm going to tell you guys, man, I don't even have a job right now, dude. And I can think of 100 better things to do with my time than to go through 450 some odd pages of somebody else's personal business. And like I said, I'm talking to you all. Don't sit there and claim that you're concerned for this child's well-being when you're focused on details of somebody's personal life that have nothing to do with you. They just don't. I mean, I don't care what you say. Don't tell me that, Critical K going live yesterday and talking about this case. I mean, and she's so concerned. Like, she's real slick, man. She's real slick. Because she's real good at delivering information. She's real good at her delivery. She pours sugar in your ears because she's got a really nice speaking voice. To some. To some. A lot of people disagree, but that's okay. A lot of people, but I think the reason why her voice annoys so many people is because they see through her. A lot of people do see through her, but a lot of people don't. A lot of people just don't see through her. They just take whatever she says as gospel, which is ridiculous. When all you really have to do is look at the actions. Let me ask you something. Let me ask you something directly, Critical K. If Michael is this dangerous, narcissistic, abusive, crazy person, right, that you're making him out to be, totally off the rails, capable of anything, right? If he's this person, why did the court, even though they ruled it, because I saw it myself, the court did say that he was considered dangerous, a danger to her physical and emotional and mental well-being. I saw it myself. I'm not denying that. But why did the court let him walk out with her? Somebody explain that to me. Why did the court let him walk out with her if they would consider? I mean, wouldn't they right there and then just seize custody of her and put her in this third-party environment? See it through? Make sure it happens? Why did the court let him walk out with her? See, these are the things that people aren't paying attention to. Your lust and thirst for drama and tea, masking it with a concern for a missing child, I'm not buying it. Okay, well, Nicole H., he didn't have her at court. So what? So he didn't have her in court, but why didn't the police just take her? Why didn't the judge order, if he's a danger to this child, the court deemed him to be a danger, why didn't they follow through with precautions and make sure that she was removed from his environment? The details don't matter. I'm saying they let this happen. Let me ask you something else, Critical K. If he's so dangerous, if he's such this dangerous, narcissistic, and I mean, let's face it. If he's a narcissist, you know he was watching your live yesterday. I mean, come on. Let's be realistic here. This man just, if he's the narcissist that everybody's making him out to be, and make no mistake, people, I'm not defending him. I'm pointing out a simple fact. I'm pointing out a simple observation that everyone watching her seemed to miss. If he's this narcissistic, because he just may very well be, he may very well be this narcissistic, dangerous, horrible person. I'm not denying that may be the case. What I'm saying is, if he is, and you're so concerned for Sophie's safety, Critical K, why would you taunt him by playing a private conversation between him and the amicus attorney? Taunting him, clowning him, making fun of him. You don't think that would antagonize a dangerous, narcissistic, abusive person capable of anything? She's with him right now. So if you're so concerned for this child's well-being, which you never have been, you never, ever have been, why would you do that? If you're this responsible voice of reason and you tell people to think critically, I'm asking her listeners directly right now, think critically, because why would somebody do that? If they believe that somebody is narcissistic and dangerous and abusive and she is with him and he's capable of hurting her and doing anything to her, right? Capable of anything. Who knows what this guy's capable of, she says. Why would you taunt him? Why would you poke that bear? This is what I'm talking about, people. You got to look at the actions. You got to look at the actions. Now, I don't know if that's true, Granny Smith. See, this is the thing, is too many people are on the mindset of Team Michael or Team Kelly. It's ridiculous. I got into it with somebody on someone else's panel last night that caught herself. She was like, Team Kelly, we're Team Kelly, and then goes, well, wait a minute. No, we're Team Sophie. No, dude. No. You don't get to backtrack there. The reason why you said Team Kelly naturally out of your face is because that's the narrative that you've been doing on social media platforms. That's what you've been saying. You said it out of habit. So don't sit there and give me this whole, all of a sudden, we're all concerned about Sophie, because you're not. None of you are. I'm not talking about the people in this chat right now. I'm talking about the people that support these channels. You're not. If Katie Joy is so concerned with Sophie's safety, why is she asking people to donate to Kelly's legal fund? Why? If she's Team Sophie. And I've always been Team Sophie. But right now, guess what I am? I'm Team Law Enforcement. That's what I am. I'm Team Professionals who are charged with the duties of locating this child. The fact is that detective told me yesterday that Michael does not meet the requirements that would categorize or that would merit a Amber Alert for Sophie. This child is being exploited all over again. All over again. Now, people who are well-versed in family court, they would argue and say, after reading 450 some odd pages of this these court documents, they would say that they think that the court handled this inappropriately, that they made a lot of mistakes, a lot of contradictions. But see, I'm not concerned about that stuff. I'm not concerned about that stuff. I'm concerned about the issue at hand, simply that nobody knows where this child is. I'm not Team Michael. I'm not Team Kelly, but I will tell you this. I think that Kelly, no matter what anybody feels about her, has a right to know where her child is. See, this is what I'm talking about, man. This is what I'm talking about. Who exploited her first? I never exploited this child. Never did. I saw a child begging for help and nobody seemed to be listening. So the one person that was advocating for her, I gave them a voice. That's what I did. That's all I did. I completely agree, Waleska Baca. Why are we talking about ML? Shouldn't we be concerned about Sophie's safety? Why do we keep talking about their parents? Why don't we talk about what we can do to help Sophie? And this is the funny thing, is we can't really do anything. If you see something, say something. That's all you can do. That's what the detective told me. I straight up asked that exact question. What can we do? What can I tell my listeners what they can do? He said, simple. He said, simple. If you have any information of their whereabouts, call your local law enforcement agency, because it's a nationwide, she's posted in the nationwide missing persons database. So simple. Go to any local law enforcement, give them your information. That's all you got to do. And that's all we can do. Anything other than that is exploitation. That's because there wasn't one, Carrie. I spoke to the detective himself. The detective in charge of locating Sophie, I spoke to him personally. And he told me, again, I'll repeat it, Michael does not meet the requirements that would merit an Amber Alert. Meaning that they don't consider him to be that. This was his response. He said, well, I will say this, and then told me that. When I asked him, this was his response to this question. Is Michael considered a danger to Sophie? That was his response. So law enforcement does not believe, at least not officially, that he is a danger to her. And getting everybody riled up and making him out to be worse than what law enforcement looks at him as is dangerous. That, by default, puts Sophie in danger because it puts Michael in danger. People who want to be heroes. Well, I'm going to go looking for him. Beverly Walker, I agree with you, man. I mean, he's definitely not making sound decisions. But again, I mean, this writ of mandamus, he's not in contempt of court. There's no warrant issued for him. Show me a warrant that's issued for him. If he's in contempt of court, then there's a warrant in his name. This is what I'm talking about. Spreading misinformation. You don't know that he's in contempt of court. Where did you hear that he was in contempt of court? Who told you that? And then when somebody tells you things like this, you have to question, is it reliable information? Is the source of information that I'm getting this from, are they credible? And the way that you assess that is by looking at that person's actions. You look at Katie Joy's actions. You look at Critical K's actions. And as I posted in my community post, make no mistake, people, out of us 3 creators that are talking about this case, that are talking about Sophie being missing, out of us 3, how am I the only one out of us 3 that isn't currently being sued for slander and defamation, for lying, basically, for spreading misinformation? How am I the only one out of us 3 that's not being sued and people aren't questioning this? The reason why that is because I don't have a reputation for spreading misinformation. I just simply don't. Yeah, I did the same thing 5 minutes ago before I even came on here. Well, not 5 minutes ago. I've been on here for 20 minutes. But 5 minutes before I went live, I looked for it. There was nothing but KJ and Annie videos. Or at least images of Annie. I think Annie took all her videos related to Sophie down. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think she did. Yeah, I mean, that's like, it's almost like she was purposely trying to antagonize him to get him to do something crazy. I mean, what else? What other purpose could there have been behind those actions? And let me ask you guys this. How did she get that recording? That's what I'd like to know. How did she get that recording? Because from the way that I heard it, I'm going to assume that it was Michael. I don't think the amicus attorney. I would hope that the amicus attorney would not record that conversation and release it, especially to someone like Critical K. I would hope not. So how did K get that recording? That's what I'd like to know. People aren't asking questions like this. See, thinking critically would dictate you asking questions like this. I mean, it just would. How did she get that recording? Well, if I had to guess, this is just a guess. I don't know if it's fact or not. See, this is what responsible speculation calls for, is a disclaimer. I don't know if this is fact or not. This is just me speculating, me thinking critically. If I had to guess, I'd say Michael recorded the conversation and had an exchange with Courtney at some point and shared the conversation with Courtney, shared the recording with Courtney. And then Courtney supplied it to someone else and Critical K got a hold of it, unless she provided it to Critical K herself. Anna Moy, I cannot explain it in detail because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not very well versed in family court other than my own experience in family court. But I had a lawyer. They handled all that. But from what I understand, in layman's terms, it's basically an appeal. It's a request to overturn the previous decision. So it's still possible. It's still possible. This is probably why, if I had to guess, again, I don't know for a fact, but if I had to guess why Michael does not have a warrant out for his arrest, is because that writ of mandamus is another loophole and another stall tactic of his to keep Sophie. and it's working. He's within some red tape and loophole and in some loophole right now to where he gets to hold on to Sophie. The problem is the guy just doesn't trust law enforcement, I guess, because I don't know why he wouldn't turn her in. I don't know why he wouldn't do what law enforcement said to do, what he told Nicole H to do, which was to walk into any police department. And when you look at the details, in this missing persons report, it's clear that it was, at least I'm guessing, I think, if you look at the evidence in front of you, it's the same information that Katie Joy was sharing, where it's saying that he's possibly fleeing to Mexico or Argentina. That's the crap that Katie Joy was saying because he speaks Spanish. And where did she get her information from? Admittedly from her. She got it from Courtney. So I'm guessing Courtney filed this missing persons report. And the funny thing is she wasn't officially reported missing until after I did the live stream calling Katie Joy out. It was while I was live that the missing persons report was filed. So I think I had already done a live, and then it was my second live on the situation. No, Alyssa was assumed to be with Michael. We still don't know for a fact if that's true. Well, I'm not going to facilitate that. But I mean, I streamed Katie Joy. I have the live still up. So you could go back and watch that, but I'm not going to facilitate, the crap that Critical K is spreading, because all she's doing is she saw dollar signs from day one when it came to this case. She's being sued. She needs money. And she knows that talking about Sophie is a jackpot with her listeners, because it made her a ton of money before. Yeah. Both Katie Joy and Critical K are being sued for the exact same reason what she's doing now. And it blows my mind because Michael Long is suing everybody. Michael Long has like a dozen lawsuits out right now, at least. It's crazy. Like, that dude is suing everybody. Like, the fact that, I mean, I'm going to be surprised if he doesn't end up slapping Critical K with a lawsuit or himself, or Katie Joy for that matter. I'm going to be surprised if that doesn't happen, if I'm being totally honest. Oh, I don't know. Some I don't know, either some YouTuber or reality TV person or something, Sheila Foster Swanson, somebody that she got on her platform and started lying about, apparently. Yeah, it's super expensive. I don't know how much Katie Joy's is, but Critical K's lawsuit is $10 million. $10 million. You think she has $10 million? She wouldn't be on YouTube if she did. Yeah, Amber Magic. I couldn't have said that better, man. Yeah. I couldn't have said that better. Like, who the hell has time? Why would anybody have the inclination to read 450 pages of a personal family custody fight? That's crazy to me. What's going on with your life? No, I know who's suing Critical K. It's Ray Andriacchio. Andriacchio is actually how you say it and spell it. It's Ray, Christian's mom, that's suing her. But I don't know who's suing Katie Joy. I don't have any idea. I don't know, man. Like, these people are going to do what they do. These people are just going to do what they do. There's no other way around it. You know, this is what they do. They exploit. They trash talk. I mean, we're talking about Critical K, who just goes to this meet and greet in Colorado. She posts pictures like a fangirl sitting in the booth where Chris Watson and Nicole Kessinger were sitting in the last time they were together. She had to find the booth at the Lazy Dog, and she had to sit there and get a picture. And then she goes to the Watts house. This is my favorite. She goes to the Watts house and takes rocks from the backyard, again, like a fangirl, to have some sort of memento. What kind of a sick person wants a memento from a site where a dude cowardly murdered his 2 children and pregnant wife? What kind of a sick person does that? What is that? How does that not tell you what kind of a person this is? And then she has the person that she's with. I think it's Kendall G. I'm not totally sure. But she has her film her while she's reenacting the porch step interview of Chris Watts lying about the whereabouts of his family. Like it's funny. Like there's comedy to that. Like there's something to laugh at about that. Dude, Frank Ruchek Sr. was just recently on Mommy Rambling's blog on her channel. He was just on there addressing social media and how these theories and speculations and all this crap going on Watts Island here on YouTube, on how all this is affecting their family in a negative way. The man broke down in tears describing that his grandchildren were pulled out of oil tanks and their skin was falling off. And he broke down in tears explaining this. I can't imagine. But the decent person in me dictates that I have some empathy for them. I mean, you can have opinions. Nobody's telling you not to follow true crime, but at least have some empathy for the people involved in these cases. Understand that these are real people who have been affected by something tragic. Let's see. Tracy says, I live in Collin County where this case is being heard. KL lives here. Absolutely no one, including Dallas News, is talking about this situation. Of course they won't. You know why they're not talking about it? Because it's a personal family issue, dude. That's why they're not talking about it. How lame is your life where you were completely consumed over a custody battle between a father and a mother, regardless of your opinions of them? And that's the thing, is she wouldn't be doing it unless there was a demand for it. Is she part of the problem? Yeah, but the real problem is her listeners. That is the real problem. The people subscribe to Critical K who depend on her to relay information that is none of their business. That's the real problem. I don't want subscribers like that. I don't. And if I was doing this for money, then I would jump right on that bandwagon. I'd be like, well, that's the reality. You don't think that I'm aware that the reality is that the majority of people on YouTube are just looking for drama and tea? You don't think that I know that? I purposely try to reject those types of subscribers. I purposely put up a wall from those types of subscribers. I don't want them. I don't want them here. I cannot oblige them. I cannot bring myself to give them what they need and what they want. I want people listening to me who actually have a sense of empathy, who actually care and understand that people are being affected by these cases. That is what I want. And I've done a pretty good job of vetting them. Dude, beans or Bob, listen to that. I mean, I feel like I know more about SL, ML, KL, and KC than my own family at this point, and I'm a social worker. Like, and no major news source is covering this. And why would they? Why would they? Yeah. The problem is their listeners. They're only playing the supply and demand game. That's all KJ and CK are doing, except KJ's just not nearly as good at it. Like she's the difference between KJ and Critical K is without a crystal ball is an idiot. Critical K is not stupid. She's not stupid at all. She knows exactly what she's doing. She's playing the supply and demand game, and she's killing it. Is what she's doing. I will give her that. Her listeners are stupid, but she's not. And she knows her listeners are stupid. Otherwise, she wouldn't call them all peasants. She wouldn't treat them all like crap. And then she goes and starts whining about she starts whining about a PDF file and how everybody's attacking her. Like, of all people playing victim, really? You? Of all people? Critical K? You? Come on, man. Like, you have to be stupid if you fall for that. You have to be. You have to be completely and totally ignorant if you fall for that crap. She's easily the most vindictive person I've seen on YouTube. Talking about somebody that sent pictures of her feet to get someone doxxed. I mean, unreal. Yeah, I mean, she is manipulative, but so's Katie Joy. It's just like I said, Critical K is just better at it. She's smarter. Katie Joy's a moron. My short-lived experience with her she's just plain dumb. Like, no information, no real information, no solid information. Well, if you're in contact with John, you need to call the police. Hey, stupid. If you actually knew anything, well, then you would know that John's not even with Michael. see here. Thank you, Southern. Oh man, thank you for that super chat. But man, thank you for having like the most awesome handle on this live stream. You win the handle of the day. Thank you so much for your sense and sanity. Keep calling them out. I appreciate that. Southern boob sweat sucks. I wouldn't know, but I can imagine. I can imagine. But yeah, you win handle of the day for sure. Yeah, I mean, dude, and I didn't, I see this stuff and I don't even care. But, as far as like the Chris Watts stuff I'm talking about, I see this stuff about the Chris Watts stuff and I'm just like, whatever, like that's just what Kay does. You know what I mean? She's disgusting. I get it. You know what I mean? Like, this is not a big shocker. This isn't news, but hold on. Sorry, my buddy's yelling at his dogs. So he screams out, Leopold. He's probably being an asshole right now, that dog. I don't know if you guys have huskies, anybody who has huskies, but they're brats. They're total brats. They're the sweetest, most awesome dogs, but they're total brats too. They're prima donnas. It's really funny. But yeah, I mean, but to sit there, I mean, I wouldn't be calling her out if I didn't see right through that. That was awful. I mean, because the truth is I don't know what Michael's capable of. Do I think personally that he would hurt Sophie physically? I don't. I really don't. I don't believe that. But the bottom line is anything's possible. That's the fact of the matter is that anything's possible. Nobody's a killer until they're a killer. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's a woman beater until they're a woman beater. Nobody's a child abuser until they're a child abuser. Nobody's a rapist until they rape somebody. That's just how that is. So anything's possible. So why would you sit here and one side of your mouth say that you're so concerned for Sophie's safety, and then on the other side of the side of your mouth taunt and antagonize the person that she is with, that's supposedly the biggest danger to her right now, according to you? Why would you do that? I mean, yeah, I'll admit it. There was a time where I was supportive of Michael. But the reason why I was supportive of Michael because he was the only person advocating for Sophie. Because I believed Sophie. I still do. If I'm being totally honest, I still believe her. My problem with Michael now is that he's not doing anything to help her. He thinks he is, but he's not making sound decisions, in my personal opinion. That's just my opinion. So no, I cannot get behind him. Once he reacted the way that he did, once he did what he did with Alyssa and all that stuff, once that became a thing, I was like, dude, you blew it. You blew your whole image. You blew any chance of the court taking you seriously. And I can't get behind you anymore. And that was the last time I ever interacted with him, knowingly anyway, because it occurred to me recently that there's the possibility, I don't think so, but there's the possibility that John is not John, the person that I've been emailing back and forth with, is not John. But I already made it clear. I emailed John today saying, hey, you know what? I backed this guy up and he made a fool of me. And that's my feelings on this at this point. I backed this guy up and I put my name and my face on the line. I put my channel on the line for this guy, my reputation on the line for this guy. And he made an ass of me. And then he's like, well, I'll let him know that that's how you feel. Well, good. Yeah, I wouldn't be telling you unless I wanted you to. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, all I keep getting are emails from John talking about the case, talking about the custody case. Dude, I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in your personal custody fight. I want to know where we're at as far as getting a thorough investigation to take place into Sophie's claims. That's all I've ever cared about. But I just don't see that happening now, which I've said 100 times. I just don't see it happening now. Because he was the one person. And it was on him to maintain credibility, and he blew it. All I want is for him to do the right thing right now. People are worried about this little girl. The same people who he got everybody all riled up about. The same people who he got all riled up are still concerned for this little girl. And now you're spitting in all our faces, Michael. You're spitting in all of our faces. Michael, at this point, please hand Sophie over. It is not too late for everyone to get help and resolve issues so that there can be a positive future for all of you. Holly, thank you so much for the Cash App. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you so much. I don't want to, I mean, that's their real name. I don't know what your YouTube handle is, but for listening, thank you so much, and thank you for the support. New Zealand Mysteries, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, and for my critics that are like, look at him collecting super chats and blah, blah, blah. I'm collecting super chats for calling out the people that are actually exploiting this child. And hell yeah. Hell yeah. What better way to call out the people who are exploiting this child than to exploit them? I'm damn proud of it too. I'm damn proud of it. I don't have any qualms about it. And all you care about is super chats, and you don't care about Sophie. All you care about are super chats and monetization. Hey, geniuses, I don't know if you remember, but that entire time when all this was going down, when it was all erupting like a volcano, I wasn't monetized. So shut up. You got to use your eyes. You got to use your eyes. Don't just listen to words, people. Look at things. Look at the actions. Understand. If you're in the true crime community, dude, apply understanding motive. Apply that. What's the motive? That's why I say Courtney is not a credible source for information. That's all I'm saying. She's not a credible source for information. I believe that she's the one that reported Sophie missing. And that being the case, law enforcement has to do something about it. They have to do something. But she has all the motive in the world to hurt Michael. Now, I like Courtney. I do. She was a big help with information when it came to getting to the bottom of Sophie's SA claims. She was a big source of information. She was the main source of information. And I think that she did a lot for these kids. It's time to focus on advocacy for SL, US included, us included, excluded. At this point, she is getting lost in the he said, she said, and it's more detrimental. I agree. Thank you, Beans or Bob. I agree. Well, see, I don't know if she's breaching the gag order. And then I got a really odd email, and Crime Stalker got the same email, actually, saying that me sharing details of the mandamus, she sent a cease and desist, but she didn't send a real cease and desist. This was a real attorney, or at least a convincing. She used a real attorney, a real attorney's name, whoever this was, used a real attorney's name. And I Googled it. It's a real law firm. I don't know how big of a law firm it is, but she's not listed as one of Kelly's attorneys. And she told me in the email that she was representing Kelly Long. And it's a separate thing. But doesn't a cease and desist have to have a judge's signature on it? Because she didn't send me anything with anything official from a judge. It was just some asshole with a with a law firm. That, I mean, dude, how is somebody smart enough to have a law firm, stupid enough to follow people like Critical K and Katie Joy? Somebody explain that to me. Welcome, Southern Boob Sweat Sucks. Yeah, I mean, that's not, yeah, like how, I mean, that's not a real cease and desist. I mean, I called him out on it, and then I haven't heard back, which I'm sure I will now. But any real attorney is not going to continue to email me and exchange emails with me. They're not going to do that. Yeah, why is she taunting him? Why is she antagonizing him? If that's the case, good point. Your story on Real Talk with Mandy. I think since Courtney is so scared of Michael to have a restraining order against him, then why is she putting out all this stuff out here on Michael? You would think she wouldn't. You would think she wouldn't antagonize him, right? If he's so dangerous. This is why I'm saying she's just not a credible source for information at this point. And why are these creators that trash talked her for months and trying to discredit her as a credible source for information, now all of a sudden she's a credible source for information? She's their source for information. Why is that? Makes no sense, man. It makes no sense at all. Well, I mean, yeah, but you're Gramsci Life, you're saying it's nobody's business who people give their money to. I mean, right. I'm not saying that it is. Uh, I'm saying don't sit here and say that you're pro Sophie and you're worried about her whereabouts and you think that she's in danger and you're donating to Kelly's law firm. How the hell does that help Sophie? How does that help Sophie? Someone explain that to me. Well, it wasn't notarized. It wasn't notarized. So, yeah. And it doesn't matter because I don't even have any interest in sharing that stuff. That's the whole point. I don't have any interest in sharing any of that crap. That's none of my business. It's none of your business. This is a personal custody issue. This is a personal family issue that's got nothing to do with none of y'all or me. Small town girl. See, you got to listen, okay? You got to listen. Small town girl. You got to listen. Katie, thank you so much. Courtney and Michael. Courtney said Michael was hurting Phoenix, but didn't leave. That's another thing. She should be charged with child endangerment. I mean, I don't have any opinion on that. I mean, I do. I just don't see the relevance, honestly. But again, I mean, that goes to her credibility. As far as somebody who's credible for information, again, why? I mean, it's just this simple, dude. If somebody puts their hands on my kid, if I'm dating a woman and she puts her hands on my kid, that's a deal breaker right there. Like, you either got to go or so that I don't do something that I'm going to regret for the rest of my life. That's how seriously I take somebody putting their hands on my kid. Don't you ever in your life even dream about putting your hands on my kid. I don't know any parent in here that wouldn't feel the same way. Now all of a sudden, oh my God, he slapped Phoenix. I mean, okay, well, why didn't you leave? Why is it now all of a sudden a big problem? Why do you expect us to take you seriously? Now he's this horrible villain to these kids when you were the one helping him. And like I said, and I'm going to keep on saying it, y'all. If Michael coached these kids, if these kids were a victim of parental alienation from Michael, well, they were a victim of parental alienation from Courtney too. Period. That's it. Plain and simple. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. It's just that simple. I saw footage of her holding a camera phone and asking Sophie questions and leading her with questions. Saw it myself. Yeah. Not only was she on board with everything, Prison Mike, she was the one doing all the digging. She was doing the legwork. She was doing the grunt. I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah, I won't disagree with that. I saw it with my own eyes. I won't disagree with that at all, small town girl. But now all of a sudden, that goes with my point. Now all of a sudden, now all of a sudden, you know, he's this villain to these kids, according to her. I don't buy it. A villain to her, sure. I get that she's hurt. I get that. But that, in and of itself, makes her not a credible source for information when it comes to this stuff. So all you're hearing when you're listening to these things that Critical K is talking about, when you're looking at these things that Katie Joy is talking about, it's just all rumor, dude. It's just all rumor. Like, John is sitting here emailing me going, oh, well, the psychological exam, and, you know, Michael had questions, this and that. And I'm like, I'm not interested in that stuff. I want to know where Sophie is. I want to know that she's okay. That's it. That's all I care about. I'm not here to be a voice for Michael, dude. I don't know why they think, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was blown a long time ago. I'm not here to advocate for this dude. The hell? What he's doing is not how it's done. Sorry. I mean, that's a possibility. That's a possibility. I mean, based on his actions, yeah. I mean, he's sending me the website for the father's rights group, and dude, I don't care about that. I don't care nothing about no father's rights group. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't. Jerry K. Like, I'm not interested in that, man. That's got nothing to do with where Sophie is right now and her current state of safety. That's got nothing to do with nothing. Tom Riddle, I've questioned that myself, as a matter of fact. Now, I don't know it. I don't know if that's the case, because it sure as hell sounds like him, though. But he could just be a dad that's just backing up his son as much as he possibly can. But that bothers me because, you know, he's spending a lot of time emailing me stuff about this case, but not a whole lot of information as far as Sophie's well-being and whereabouts. I'm not hearing any of that. I heard that she was getting good grades. She had her own room in his house. That's nice. Cool. Does she now? Can a police officer come by and check on them? That's all I care about. I mean, I'm not up here in this chat asking everybody how their kids are doing in school. I don't care about how how Sophie's doing in school any more than I care about what anybody in this chat is doing in school and their kids are doing in school. I don't care. It's none of my business. I care that she's okay. I care that she's safe. I care that these parents start acting like adults. Start doing what's best for this child and the other children involved. Perfectly imperfect, sure. Well, he is his father, but he's also Sophie's grandfather, too. He did his job raising Michael. That's it. He did his job raising Michael. Michael's already raised. Your job is done. Stick to the task at hand, which matters. Southern boob sweat sucks. You can ask me anything you want with a handle like that. I'll make sure everybody knows, Teresa Howick. There you go. My kids are all geniuses. Everyone has to know. Everybody take note. Teresa Howick's kids are all geniuses. Got it? See, Katie, again, thank you so much. KC has no problem speaking out against ML, but won't produce addresses for possible whereabouts. She's been with him for years. I should know where my wife was going if she was to run away. Shady. I mean, maybe. I mean, we don't know for a fact that she has these addresses. And I would think that she would have shared it. If she was going to make this missing persons report, I'm sure she shared that information with law enforcement. Because don't underestimate law enforcement either. You know what I mean? Like, law enforcement's going to go, well, you know, if they're investigating this and they're going, well, what the hell's going on, and asking questions, I'm sure they're going to say, well, how do you not have addresses? You have all this other information. Well, how do you not have addresses of what his possible whereabouts are currently? So I don't want to underestimate law enforcement. I missed your comment, Hooked on Phonics. I mean, that's not that, again, I'm not commenting on that stuff. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Go to the trash channels for that stuff. I'm not interested in who wins custody at this point. I'm really not. Because there's nothing that can be done about the SA claims at this point. I mean, I just don't see it. And if the investigation does come up again, I will be all over it. I promise you guys that. I'm not giving up on Sophie, but I'm being realistic as to there's nothing else that I can do. There's nothing else for me to speak on the subject. All I can do at this point right now is share her picture and information and hope that somebody sees something and she's recovered safely. That's it. That's my only concern right now. Well, it's not the same law enforcement agency, in all fairness, Siren Jag. That's a good point, you know, but it's not the same law enforcement agency. So I'm not about to just lump all law enforcement up with, you know, I'm just not going to do that. Let's see. Katie says, last one. Why is there no Amber Alert? That makes zero sense to me. We know who had her, the car info, etc. Shouldn't there be an Amber Alert? There should be if she's considered to be in danger. Yes, Katie. But this tells me the fact that there is not an Amber Alert based on what that officer told me, what that detective told me, sergeant, I should say. Sorry, I just received something here. Why are people sending me stuff, man? Like people send me the most irrelevant stuff, dude. Yeah, based on what that sergeant told me, based on what that sergeant told me is he doesn't believe, or they don't have enough to officially consider her to be in danger, basically. Um, I'm not stating what this detective's or this sergeant's opinion is because I don't know, and he didn't share that with me. But officially speaking, law enforcement as a whole does not consider Sophie to be in danger in Michael's care, which is why an Amber Alert has not been issued. Let's see, but Will does agree that she'd be in danger. That she'd be in danger when it comes to mentally or emotional danger. Yeah, for sure. I I don't see his current actions being productive for her, is what I'm saying. I don't see them being anything other than detrimental. That's my personal opinion. Yeah, no, they absolutely are. Carelessly too. Amber Magic, they absolutely are. And yes, vigilantes are real. Social media is full of a bunch of nuts. You know what I mean? Like, it just is. Dude, YouTube is nothing compared to Facebook groups. That's why I stay the hell out of them, man. And I love that. Everybody's like, oh, you were an advocate for Michael. Dude, I never joined his stupid Facebook groups. As a matter of fact, I did a live stream talking against the people in the Facebook group. As soon as that Anna person got everybody all riled up, I was like, that's not okay at all. That's not okay at all. And I spoke up against it. Do I think CK is dangerous? Absolutely. Do I think she's an idiot? No. No. Yeah. Critical K is the Lex Luthor of YouTube true crime. Except without the money. She is, dude. Bill Belichick is the Lex Luthor of the NFL. Critical K is the Lex Luthor of true crime on YouTube. Without the money. Without the funds. And Katie Joy is she's the Wile E. Coyote. She's the Wile E. Coyote of YouTube. Okay, no. This is the last one. Okay, Katie, let's see what it says here. Without a crystal ball states this is all for SL and her safety on her lives, and at the end says follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Right? Yeah. That's, you got to use your eyes. People, wake up. Look. Broaden your vision. Don't just listen to the words coming out of somebody's mouth. Look at the surrounding situations. You got to use your eyes. That's without a crystal ball should change her name is to without the million she's being sued for. I just flushed $1,000 down the toilet, guys. Can you do that too, please? I just flushed $1,000 down the toilet by giving it to Kelly's law firm. I challenge you guys to do the same stupidity. Doogers. That's totally what she needs to do. Just stick to talking about. That's it. Stick to talk about the Doogers, bro. I know it's Duggars, by the way. I just like saying Doogers. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's awful, dude. She's awful to the Rucheks, man. She's terrible, dude. Like, I mean, I remember I fell for Critical K's bullshit when I first started on YouTube. I'm not gonna lie, I did. I totally fell for her bullshit. But it was actually her actions against the Rucheks that started to make me really like, oh man, this person is messed up. What trust fund under surveillance? I hope you're not surveilling people, because if you're the one doing the surveillance, man, you're not coming up. You're coming up short, because you obviously have no observation skills whatsoever. She gave the website to the law firm, dude. It goes to the lawyers. That's what it goes to. Like, it goes to the lawyers, bro. What are you talking about? Kelly's trust fund for what? Why am I giving Kelly my money? For what? Why the hell am I going to give Kelly my money? And I wasn't rude. Quit whining, dude. Seriously. Don't come in here and play victim in my chat because you made a stupid statement and I called you out on it. Like, seriously. Katie, let's see. You you get my paycheck today. Well, thanks. Without a crystal ball, CK are exploiting itself for subs, and they are pieces of shit. They dox if you go against them. Without a crystal ball needs to make her money back after that lawsuit. Praying for Sophie. Yes, I agree. I concur, doctor. Let's see. Look at I love how the summer fund is being set up. They have put in public writing that after 6 months, anything left over will go to missing children. Yeah, there you go. That's how a real missing persons fund is set up, guys. Take note. Yeah, I mean, I didn't even like. You just because I tell you to use your brain before you open your mouth. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm doing you a solid, man. I don't consider that rude at all. I'm doing you a solid. If somebody calls me out on that, I'm going to be like, well, shit, man, you're right. I said something stupid. My bad. I didn't think before I said something. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Individuals interested in donating. Let's see. Individuals interested in donating to the reward fund. This is the Summer Wells case, by the way, that Cherry K is referring to, that Lokamai brought up. Individuals interested in donating to the Summer Wells reward fund can go to any Civis Bank branch and request to place money in the Churchill Rescue Squad Summer Wells reward account. No, and I love it. Like, that's another thing. Critical K is jumping on the bandwagon because it pays off. She's attacking Summer Wells' parents. She's up there the other day and she's like, what does she say? Her truth radar is going off about Summer Wells' parents. Her truth radar. And I commented, I was like, really? Did your truth radar go off about Barry Morphew? Did your truth radar go off about Chris Watts? Because she defended the hell out of Chris Watts. She absolutely did. And she defended Barry. Now, me, I only told people to not jump to conclusions. I left it at that. The same thing that I do here, the same thing that I currently do, I did with the Barry Morphew case. We didn't have any information on the Barry Morphew case that was solid enough to start throwing spears at this guy. But I trust law enforcement. I trust the CBI. And if they have enough to arrest him, that means they feel they have enough to convict him on. That's enough for me. So now that might not be enough for a lot of people, but it's enough for me. It's enough for me. I will always, always, always attack creators who attack members of a victim's family. I will always, always do that. I have always done it, and I will always do that. Because you have to assume the responsible thing to do is to assume that these people, if you don't have nearly enough information, the responsible thing to do is to assume that these people are suffering from this missing person's from this missing person the most, more than anybody. You have to assume that. If law enforcement has not named an official person of interest at this point, I'm going to assume that these parents are struggling with the fact that their child is missing, their youngest, smallest child is missing, and their 3 boys are struggling with it, and they have to manage dealing with these 3 boys too and helping them through this issue. The responsible thing to do is to do that. Period. Why is this different than why is her narrative different now with Summer Wells' parents than with Barry Morphew? I'll tell you why. Because it's poverty shaming. It's poverty shaming, and she has a problem with people who have faith, people who are religious. She has an issue with religious people, and she has an issue with people of low income. It's just that simple. All you got to do is use your eyes and watch all her back lives, which she has taken down, by the way. Let's see here. Let's hear some more whining. Since y'all time me out, the trust can be used for other things to help Sophie. It's been stated multiple times. Instead of belittling people, maybe have a civil conversation. The reason why is because I don't trust Katie Joy, and I sure as hell don't trust lawyers. And that trust does not help locate Sophie. I don't care where the money goes unless it goes to the efforts in locating her. If it goes to a private detective, great. But I didn't hear that once. Does it go to a private detective? Since y'all time me out. Well, don't act stupid. You won't get timed out. I don't know. I can't speak for him, Katie. If ML was criminally charged as abducting her, wouldn't he just say screw it and release every piece of evidence that he has? I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for him. I don't know. I can tell you that the stuff that Courtney shared with me is pretty incriminating. It's pretty incriminating. And I never got their permission to release it. So I now I don't even have it anymore, if I'm being honest. At least I don't think so. If I dug enough in my phone, I'd probably be able to find it, but I'd have to put it all together. And, but I was asked to keep that under wraps in confidence. And no matter how I feel about this situation or the people involved, I'm not going to break their confidence. It's just not what I do. Miss Katie, incriminating against the people that Michael's accusing, incriminating against police officers, incriminating against Jake, incriminating against against certain court officers. Yeah, ugly stuff. But you know, everybody just has to kind of take it was crazy. It was driving me crazy. I remember they were sharing this stuff with me, and I'm like, let me go live with this. Please let me go live with this. This would shut everybody up. And they're like, we can't. we can't sign off on that because our lawyers are saying not to. And I was like, all right, you know, I mean, there's nothing I could do. Wait, what's going on, Siren Jag? I see you. Don't try to get me removed as a mod for the jokes I make and then try to troll me by coming in here under the name Hypocrisy. It won't work. Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't care about any of that either, if I'm being honest. We don't pay those type of people no mind, Siren Jag. Don't worry about them. Don't worry about them. Dude. Stupid is as stupid does, Steve Maidman. Man, did you see all the thumbs down on my last live? Jeez. Like, I got over 100 on that last one. I mean, but that's all right. You know what I mean? That's all right. That's all right, man. Thumbs down help the algorithm too. It's all good. I like to know how much I'm hated. I like to know that. It's always good information. I don't really need to know, honestly. I don't need to know what your feelings are about me. That's just none of my business. I don't care. I will say this. I'm impressed by the level of self-control Kelly has had during all of this. I'd be screaming and shouting from the rooftops, but then again, I just ate 6 freeze pops with the alcohol. Freeze pops. Those are good, man. I need to buy a bunch of those. Yeah, I bet you, this time of year, Walmart sells them like the huge. They're just so sugary, man. They're just frozen ass concentrated Kool-Aid. But yeah, you got the boozy ones. You got the ones with booze in them. Those are good. Kind of. They're not as refreshing. Yeah, like that's the best that they got when it comes to insulting me. Her and Lewis, her and Labia Boy, like that's all they got. Like when it comes to insulting me, they can't attack anything that I've done here on YouTube because I've been on the up and up. I've always been honest. I don't go behind the scenes and dox people. I don't do that stuff. So they it was just always funny. Little Labia, right, because Will is poor and he comes from no money, right, douche. Like that's really all you got is to try to poverty shame me, dude. Like I'm definitely not ashamed of it. I got a roof over my head, I got clothes on my back, I got food in my belly. I'm good, man. And I got luxuries. You know what I'm saying? I like to watch movies. I got HBO Max. I got Netflix. I got Prime. I'm chilling. I love it. And then y'all hooking me up with some Some super chats and such. Y'all are y'all are getting me a y'all are making my burger a double. I love it. Can't describe how grateful I am for you guys. Yeah, for real. For real. You can't talk to people like that, man. You can't talk to people with with that kind of mindset. Like if you actually are a person who feels genuine and experiences genuine gratitude for life, like you're not going to relate to people like that. It's just not going to happen. You're not going to change them. You know what I mean? Nicole H, I yell at you when you super chat me because you already do too much for me. That's why I yell at you when you super chat me. But I'm not reading your comments, probably. Is that what it is? Okay, Nicole H, did I miss a comment that you said? Let me go check. Yeah, I guess that's why you super chat me so that I read your comments. Fair enough. I love you too, Steve. Let me see. Yeah, my internet does suck. For streaming, my internet definitely sucks. Yeah, I'll admit that. I'll admit that. My internet definitely sucks for streaming. Like I got this booster and it's really not helping. Not much. It helps a little bit, but I don't know. I'm going to be moving my sleeping quarters are going to move for a couple of months uh in the next few days. And then so I'll be streaming without the green screen but on camera again. Um and maybe, I mean, I'll be closer to the router, so maybe it'll be better. We'll see. Hopefully. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, dude, I'm so bad. Like, yeah, I am the worst when it comes to promoting my channel. I am the worst. Like, my channel would probably grow a lot more if I was a lot more active on Twitter, if I was a lot more active on Instagram. I'm just not. Like, I hardly post anything on Instagram ever. Like, I post hardly anything on Twitter and I post even less on Instagram. And my Facebook group, I have a Facebook group. The Facebook group is totally is it's completely and totally flaccid. No, nobody posts anything in there anymore. It's still up, but nobody posts anything in there anymore. I'm not active in it. Nobody else is. Let's see. Louisiana girl, thank you so much. Michael, please do the right thing and show LE that Sophie is safe. You are only hurting your case. Please, please, please. I agree. I agree. I completely and totally agree. Michael, just like, how is this helping your look to the judge? Yeah, I get it. He's trying to get another judge. He's trying to get Judge Snipes off the case and get another judge. But I mean, yeah, dude, I got put in Facebook jail for calling somebody a dumbass. Like, for real, dude? Like, calm down, bro. Calm down. Zuckerberg's such a whiny bitch, dude. So sensitive. Hooked on Phonics works for me. I like your channel over many in this sector. Yeah, thanks, man. That's awesome. Appreciate it. That is super awesome. Yeah, it is. It is. Like, they won't let you post or they won't let you post anything, comment on anything, or like anything when you're in Facebook jail, Amber Magic. It's so ridiculous. It's like they put you in the corner. Oh man, I think I'm getting sick, dude. I think I'm getting sick, which sucks. Yep, censorship is absolutely real. Oh man, you know what's a real interesting this thing on Netflix, man. Here's my Netflix recommendation for the day is going to be like I do this every day or something. But it is How to Become a Tyrant, I think it's called. It's a little short series. And Peter Dinklage, the little person from Game of Thrones, whatever, he narrates it, and he narrates it brilliantly, actually. And I was just blown away, man. Like it was just they just break down like the process of how these tyrants came into power, like Hitler, like Castro. Well, they didn't go over Castro really, but like Stalin, the one dude from Uganda that I don't remember his name, Kim Jong-il or Un or whatever the hell his name is. See, I don't be watching the news, bro. I'd rather be uninformed than misinformed, if I'm being totally honest. Denzel said that. Denzel said if you open the news, if you don't read the newspaper, you're not informed. If you do open your newspaper and you do read your newspaper, you're misinformed. Denzel Washington said that. And I completely agree with him. So you guys hear my squeaky chair? Hold on. It doesn't squeak when I want it to, though. There we go. Ha! Siren Jag, I see what you did there. Oh yeah. I'm gonna start watching that Never. Like as soon as never as possible. Well, he was making a point, Amber Magic. It wasn't so much the newspaper. He means like the news media in itself, whether it's TV news, newspaper, whatever. It's just the point of if you don't watch the news, you're uninformed, and if you do watch the news, well, you're misinformed. And he goes on. It's funny in that little short interview. He goes on to talk about how it's just that the reason why it's not credible because everybody has to be first. Everybody has to be first. It doesn't matter what the news is. It doesn't matter if it's fact. It's just as long as you're delivering the information first. It's a race to who's first with the information rather than focusing on collecting the correct information and putting it out there. And that's the issue with YouTubers too. It's no different. That's exactly what Katie Joy did with this thing. It's exactly what she did. Yeah. Well, I will give Critical K some credit. She waited to talk about the Sophie thing. She waited. And she did share documents. All she did is just put her own bullshit spin on all that stuff. That's what she did. She put her own bullshit spin on all that stuff. And like it's pure misdirection. She's up there and she's just like, look, it's right here. Read it. And then she explains it to mean however she wants it to mean. That's what she does. She's always done that. And then she deliberately antagonizes someone who she's also saying is dangerous to this child. So figure that one out. Let's see. No, not true. But okay, arguing with anyone on the internet is pointless, but no, that's not the case at all. I mean, yeah, I'm not arguing with anybody. I'm just telling you what I think of the shit they're doing. That's all. All I'm saying is you got to use your eyes. Oh, yeah, guys. Sorry about that. It's like my Patreons, man. Patreon members, I know I haven't done a Patreon live in a while. I've been very, very preoccupied with this. I do apologize. Soon, very soon, I promise. I do not have a day when I'm going to do that, but very soon, I promise I'm going to do a Patreon stream. And you know what I'm going to do? Makeup Mobster. I like her. I don't really follow the drama community much, but I like her channel. She's cool. She's funny to me. And she posted in community a recipe, and I'm gonna make that. I might kind of add a little stuff here and there to it, give it my own flavor, but I'm gonna follow her recipe, and then I'm gonna, as Emerald would say, I'm gonna kick it up a notch. Is what I'm gonna do. No, not the meatloaf. Not the meatloaf. No, not the meatloaf. No. No, I think it was like fusilli with spinach. I may not use fusilli. That would be corkscrew pasta. Yeah, when I'm done here, I'm gonna go cook a pork chop. I'm gonna cook up a pork chop, heat up my leftover rice and beans from yesterday. It's gonna be delicious. Oh, hold on. And you have YouTube as cooking up some crime. I'm drunk. Y'all ignore me. Totally made a whole new channel for Will in my head. Well, what I do in Patreon, guys, what I generally do, sometimes I cook. I don't always cook. But I do like this, like kind of like drunk history, but I do like drunk true crime, and I cover like old retro cases. And I get hammered when I do it, which is pretty fun. Because it's pretty fun to listen to me try to read the information once the buzz is on. I'm like, shit, I'm too drunk to read this. But it's funny. And Robin Lane talked about Fusilli Jerry. I love that, dude. I love that. The Seinfeld references I'm a big fan of. That is easily my favorite Seinfeld episode, by the way. Easily my favorite Seinfeld episode. I'm Cosmo Kramer, the ass man. That is the best. Like, Seinfeld's a show that I will never, ever, 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 ever get sick of, I don't think. Yeah. I mean, come on. That's all you need to know, dude. But she blames Sophie. She puts blame on her being a brat and how she acted. What the F does anyone expect from a child, no matter if it's true or coached? For a parent not to see that says a lot. I completely agree. I completely agree. Like, again, on one side of her mouth, kids are precious. You have to respect them and their opinions and what they say, and you never, ever, ever spank them. First of all, I would never presume to tell people how to raise their kids. Each kid has their own personality. Each parent has their own dynamic with their kids, as long as it's not abuse. Now, the question is whether or not spanking them is considered abuse. I'm on the fence with that. I'm not against spanking because, like I said, I'm nobody. I was spanked as a kid. My mom's a good mom, so I'm nobody, far be it from me to tell anybody how to raise their own kids. I don't want people telling me how to raise my kids. So for her to have that amount of ego to where she thinks that she can tell people how to raise their kids is ridiculous. And then tell people, you know, her reason behind this is, oh, well, you know, kids are precious and, you know, you have to respect them and this and that. But you're calling a child a brat and basically blaming her for claiming to have SA because she's a brat and a liar. You're calling a child a brat and a liar. You know, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, do something to protect kids. Don't just say it. Do something to protect kids. I mean, telling you. Again, people, you got to use your eyes. Anyways, guys, I'm going to call it. I love you guys very, 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 very much. Thank you for all your support and your super chats and being awesome in my chat. We will do this again very, very soon, my friends.